Right, Pete is my chauffeur for the day. We've got 4 cars to collect from the main dealers, and my goodness, is it a mixed bag. Pete hasn't seen them yet. I think he's going to be very impressed. So we'll ferry him back to the unit. We're not allowed to film here, but we'll ferry back to the unit on their site. We're on the road here. And we'll ferry him back to the unit and take a look at them. So that's it. I'd like to have set up cameras in the car, but we were short on time today. We've got a lot going on. We have picked up 4 absolute beauties here. A Peugeot 306 on a 2002. A 2014 Vauxhall Astra 1.4 petrol, that's the 1.9 non-turbo diesel. A Citroen Picasso 2 litre HDI, I think that one is, I think it is, or is it the 1.6? I'm not sure actually. And a 2004 Nissan Micra with a diesel in it. Pete has been following me back and forth. He's hiding behind the car, he doesn't want to be on camera. Pete, you just shout out, which is your favourite? The Micra. Why do you like the Micra? It goes like hell. He's following me and he reckons of all the ones I was in, that was the one that was bombing along. I said to him, it was like captaining a steam engine or something, where, I mean, it certainly sounded like the Polar Express wanted to get out the engine bay with that diesel, but it was like you were giving instructions to 2 tiny little people with coal shovels underneath the bonnet, and as you put your foot down, they were just shoveling more and more on, and it just got more raucous, but it did just go. It just went and went and went. As you can tell, I've quite enjoyed driving these 2 proper cheapies about. I'm just going to check if I'm allowed to give you prices. I've got them from a dealer. I don't want to upset his customers. But this has got 160,000 miles on it. I've never had a Micra with a diesel on it at this age. 160,000 miles on a 2002, and it goes much better than 1.2. And it just something about it made me grin. It actually just, I mean, I don't think, if there are tiny little people running it, I don't think the people that run the steering wheel and the people that run the wheels are talking, because it's very entertaining to try and take a corner. One of these, I remember these, you know, back when they were much newer. We've got some seriously nice features on this one. We've got the check strap delete, which allows you to get the door open a lot wider. We've got the narrower rear door conversion here, beautiful. Yes, and we've got the matte finish paint as well. So all the latest upgrades on this one. This is done. What's this one done? I can't remember the mileage on this one. I'll probably put it on screen. And yeah, but I remember these as well with the 1.9 diesel in it. They won't die, will they? These will never die, especially ones without the turbo on. They'll just go on forever and ever and ever and ever. Actually, the body is, I was just going to say the body will rust away first, but the body isn't actually rusty on this one. It's just scraped up everywhere. But again, just not a quick diesel, but there's just nothing to go wrong, because it is just like they've just hewn an engine out of granite and given it just literally no real compression, and it just puts out probably 30 horsepower, but you just can't wear it out. The Astra's 1.4 petrol, so I think it's similar to the Giulietta over there. That one drives really nicely. It's really clean, but it's got a whine, which is either a really bad wheel bearing or I've bought it based on it being a gearbox problem. I think it might be a differential issue, so it needs a gearbox, I would say. But once that's done, it's a really nice car actually. It's 2000 mileage is only like 56,000 miles. It did have, there's coolant on the seat because it had a coolant warning on a dashboard. And before I actually checked the coolant, I just went and bought some because we were in a hurry. When I opened the bonnet up, it was half full in the bottle, and it stayed at half temp all the way here, so I think we've got a faulty sensor. Paintwork's nice on it, and this will be, again, this is the type of car I'm looking to probably sell at the moment, because it'll be like 4.5, I think, something like that. And the Picasso we drove, that has got a slipping clutch on it, which again, I bought it knowing it had a slipping clutch. We need to do a clutch on it, but other than that, again, it's in nice condition. There's a little bit of paint on the rear arch there. It's done 105,000 miles. I do think it's a 1.6 actually, thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of paint on that arch to do. I could do that little bit of paint there on it, but we won't go crazy, because this has probably got a value of maybe 62, 2.7, something like that maybe. Yeah, it's probably only worth about 2.7. But it's a nice spec. It's got, has it got glass roof? No, it hasn't got glass roof, it's just black. So yeah, no, it's not that nice a spec actually. Readjust your words, James. Has it got Bluetooth? I think it has. So look. Yeah, it's got Bluetooth. It's the most important thing, it's got Bluetooth. But this is going to be a family hack, isn't it, for someone? All round electric windows, electric mirrors. So it's actually quite clean. The bolster on the driver's seat is total toast. So I need to pad that out with something, get some foam in there, pad that out. I don't think it's worth getting a seat because the fabric's good on it, and that'll be time as well. So yeah, what an interesting collection that was. And I've had a right laugh driving these two. And Petey's loved it too, despite what he's hovering over there to go in and get his coffee. Yeah, it's been fun driving them, but obviously these two here, I don't think they're for me. We need to probably get out those. Although they'd be super cheap cars in the current market, but these are the kind of things you get upside down on super quickly. These two, I think, are probably ones I will keep. So as you can see as well, we are filling up quite fast here, and we need to have a bit of a clear out of stuff. That one's going in a minute. The lady's coming to pick up. She's already sold her car, sold it within a day. So I'm interested to find out how she sold her car she wanted to part exchange within a day. It's got to have gone to a family member, isn't it? Rightio, let's let PD in. He wants a coffee and a pasty. You might recall in a previous video I took a Toyota Aygo in part exchange and said it was probably exactly the right kind of car that's selling at the moment. 2011, 80,000 miles. And I said I'm going to put it down for an MOT and see how things are. Well, it actually passed its MOT, straight through its MOT, no problem at all. So that is really good news. But I did notice, as I got in it to bring it back, I don't know why I noticed before, that we've got water staining on back of the headliner there. Now this is very common with Aygos. They get a lot of water ingress problems, and the first place to go to look is the rear light here. And as you can see, there is a gap all the way along here, and the rubbers dry out in here. That water sit, and that goes into the headliner and goes into the boot as well. So I need to pull the light out and reseal it and clean that headliner down, give it a scrub down, give it clean, then wash this and put it up for sale. But that's a good result, that is. That's a really good result. We'll do an oil and filter change on it, buff the headlights up, give it a machine polish, and that'll be a nice little motor to put up for sale in the current market. Quick update from the messy workshop area. These are bloody good tidy up on what's happening with the Jeep Wrangler. The plates are on now. We did start off with rivets, but the rivets weren't quite long enough to go through, so I've put the tech screws in for the moment. These are about the same diameter as the rivets if I decide to go back to them, but I actually quite like the brass finished tech screws against the black, or I could paint these black is the other option. But yeah, I quite like it. I'm going to leave it like it is for the moment. I've gone and recoloured all of the bumpers. Some of that is still drying off. It might have a second coat if it's a little bit streaky. So next move is to get it outside and give it a machine polish and check when it was last serviced. I can't remember when the subscriber said it was last serviced. Oil and filters. Put the check straps on for the doors. We've got some replacement check straps for the doors as well. Stop them from swinging fully open. Like I say, just give it the mother of all valets, clean the engine bay up. Can't decide whether to do something with the centre of the wheels or not. How far should I go with this car? It's just a bit of oxidisation on the centre of the wheels here. But it's quite an easy area to mask off. And then sand back. And then just clear lacquer. So I think I've already made that decision really. Even in my head, mind you, the edges are a bit rough as well, aren't they? I don't know. Get it outside, give it a proper good valet and decide if I want to do that later on. I don't know it's probably necessary on a vehicle this age. But as we know, I sometimes end up going overboard. That, by the way, isn't because it's slow. I had the subscriber get in touch. It's because his daughter, that's his favourite character from SpongeBob, which is actually one of my faves as well. I do like a bit of SpongeBob. So just waiting for all that to dry off. Then, like I say, I might give it a second coating of the dye. And now, normally I'd use Outtrol for this, the oil feed. But a lot of this here, the colour was really bleached out of it. So it was probably needed some actual colour adding to it, which is why I've used a black bumper dye rather than Outtrol. But it's the first time I use it. So when I pull it outside, I'll get a second look at it. The other option is, if I'm not happy with that, is mask it off and use my Pro XL textured bumper paint, which actually gives a really nice finish, which would go quite well on this because it's slightly a bit like a bed liner, but not as lumpy as a bed liner. But that would probably be taking it a bit far. It's looking like this will actually look all right, I'd say. Well, I've got you a quick clarification on the Fiat Barchetta raffle. So we're raffling off this Fiat Barchetta that only has 11,000 miles on it. Brand new cam belt, brand new MOT, all set to go for the new owner, with a proportion of proceeds going to Sophie's Legacy, the charity for families that have children in hospital. There is an alternative cash prize, just to clarify that. It doesn't say it on the raffle page. You can have £5,000 cash instead of the car if you win. So that is an option there for you to have the cash instead. So I'll put a link in the video description down below. Tickets are just £2.50 each. And best of luck to you all. Or remember, it's guaranteed draw. Doesn't matter how many tickets sell. The cash or the car will go.